he presents the 2024-2025 budget statement policy. For an in-depth coverage of the budget policy statement, comprising the highlights of how it will affect you, expert analysis and citizens' views, tune in to KBC Channel 1 on Thursday from 7 a.m.
Good afternoon. You are in time for the lunchtime news. A very warm welcome to the broadcast. My name is Irene Muchuma. On sign language interpretation this afternoon, we have Lucy Mwaura. It is the 12th day in the month of June 2024. A couple of hours to the budget reading. We have your views from across the country. But for now, let's interact on all our social media platforms at KBC Channel 1. Professionals from the Nyanza region should augment the work of the national and county governments in turning the economic opportunity potential of the region into development programs. Information, Communications and the Digital Economy Cabinet Secretary Eliud Owalo says professionals can help push development and boost various sectors with untapped potential, such as the blue economy of the region. Speaking during a stakeholders engagement with engineering professionals from the region regarding the upcoming preparations for the inaugural Nyanza International Investment Conference, Owalo said several investment opportunities in Kisumu, Siaya, Homa Bay, Migori, Kisii and Nyamira will be highlighted during the two-day conference to be held in the county of Kisumu.
We have traditionally left the development agenda of this country in the hands of the national government and the county government. But there's also some bit we can play, a role we can play as professionals. So that's why I found it is imperative to come in as agents of necessity as professionals from Nyanza, so that we help augment the efforts of the two levels of government into turning the opportunity, the economic opportunity potential of Nyanza into tangible development programs. We have managed so far to talk to virtually anyone and everyone who matters in terms of relevance as far as the development agenda of Nyanza region is concerned, to come in by way of value proposition and input into this investment conference. I've facilitated for these professionals to meet all the relevant PSS, all the CEOs of relevant parastatals, and they will be coming to the investment conference as exhibitors and also to talk about what they are rolling out by way of development programs.
Several countries have thrown their weight behind Kenya's quest to send police officers to Haiti to restore peace in the war-torn Caribbean nation. Presenting their credentials to President William Ruto at State House, Nairobi, ambassadors from Tunisia, Chile, Peru, Egypt and Argentina, as well as Jamaica, committed to support Kenya in proceeding with the planned deployment. The president told the envoys Kenya was committed to restoring order and tranquility in Haiti.
To pursue the interests of your government within the territory of Kenya by fostering the bonds of friendship and promoting to the widest possible within the law the mutual aspirations of the peoples of our two nations. and thereby expand our relations to the widest extent possible. I also welcome the support of your government in the leadership of Kenya on the mission to Haiti to restore stability in that country.
Half of the Kenyan digital landscape will be affected by cyber attacks by 2027 if no cybersecurity measures are taken. This is according to research conducted by the global cybersecurity markets. The most prevalent forms of cybercrimes include phishing, data breaches, and malware attacks.
Cybercrimes have been prevalent in the recent years, hence the need for robust measures to curb the vice.
To be able to deal with adversities of cybersecurity in Kenya, then we have to train these students to be in line with what is happening in the industry right now.
In a bid to reduce cybercrimes such as phishing, data breaches and malware attacks, the National Research Institute has conducted a hackathon competition among its learners to identify some of the loopholes that necessitate cyber attacks.
The challenges were divided into two. They were the CTF part and the innovation part. The CTF part included the normal cybersecurity duties that involve malware analysis, cyber forensics, penetrating tests, and the other innovation part was finding the problems that are facing our society and trying to come up with the solution.
For the youths to sharpen their skills and showcase their cybersecurity skills and try to curb the security issue that we have in our modern world.
Speaking while receiving awards of two students who emerged second in the competition, Pioneer International University Vice Chancellor Professor Gideon Maina called on the government to invest heavily on a robust cybersecurity infrastructure as a way of curbing rising cyber crimes.
Of the world, in our country in particular, is pegged on how we prepare the young ones to leverage on future technology, particularly the disruptive technology, which cybersecurity, AI, artificial intelligence, big data, and robotics is part of it.
He added that lack of comprehensive legal framework for cybercrime prosecution exacerbates the situation. The two top participants scooped a cash prize of 400,000 shillings. Kasi Chanamasha, Lunchtime News.
Kilifi North Member of Parliament Owen Baya has opposed the establishment of a nuclear plant at Uyombo, citing lack of public participation and concerns about project risks. Addressing the media at the launch of Majaoni Secondary School Multipurpose Hall in Kilifi, Baya criticized Nuclear Power and Energy Agency NUPEA for failing to conduct thorough public participation forums and community social responsibility CSR programs. He emphasized the need for NUPEA to provide detailed environmental impact assessments, socio-economic impact studies, and reports on public participation to enable the government to make informed decisions on the project advancement.
Watupatie ile report ya environmental impact assessment report. Watupatie ile sasa social economic impact. Watupatie report ya public participation. Je, wananchi walisema nini kuhusu hii? Na watupatie ile ratiba, ni mikutano mingapi ya public participation wamefanya na wamefanya wapi, ili tujue hii maneno ya NUPEA wananchi wamekubali ama wamekataa.
The Human Resource Management Professionals Examinations Board, which is mandated to develop curricula, examine and certify HR professionals, now says that it is all systems go ahead of the second competency-based education and training and the 16th certified human resource professional exams for this year. The latter has been slated for June 12th to June 19th, 2024 across 7 centers: Nairobi, Mombasa, Nakuru, Eldoret, Thika, Kisumu, and Nanyuki, attracting 1,500 candidates who are drawn from various private candidature and institutional-based. The second CBET exam dates are yet to be communicated.
because the last time we only had 1366, and therefore our progress is quite good. And I wish our candidates the best. I know they have been preparing for the last 6 months. I wish them the best. And I'm also calling upon HR professionals to come and be certified.
The issue of moon sighting to determine the beginning of Dhul Hijjah, the final month of the Islamic calendar, and the day of Eid al-Adha has once again ignited debates among Muslim scholars. The Kenya Muslim National Advisory Council chairperson Sheikh Juma Ngao, speaking in Mombasa, stated the office of the chief Qadi is the one mandated to announce the start of the Islamic holy month and celebrations, and not any other Islamic body. This comes following an announcement by the Kenya Fota Council, which declared Eid al-Adha would be celebrated on Monday next week. Contrary to the Chief Qadi's announcement, the day will be observed on Sunday this week. Sheikh Ngao urged Islamic bodies and scholars to work together for the benefit of Muslim community.
Kuna kauli mbili hapa ambazo moja ni ya Fatwa Council kwamba tarehe moja si Juma, Jumamosi, na Eid ni Jumatatu, Arafa ni Jumapili. Na kuna kaila Chief Qadhi kwamba sisi mwezi huu kwa vile mahujaji wako kule Maka, tutafuata Maka, kalenda ya kule, kwa sababu ndio wako kule. Tubakini vile vile kuipa nafasi ofisi ya Chief Qadhi ambayo ndio ofisi ya kikatiba.
Na sisi KEMNAK tunawaomba Waislamu wa Kenya na mashirika yote ya kidini ya Kenya tumuungeni mkono Chief Qadhi na tutangaze rasmi kwamba sikukuu ya Kiislamu ya Eid al-Adha itakuwa siku ya Ijumaa pili.
The Nakuru County government is on the spot for defying court orders suspending activities at the expansive Gongo Ngeri farm in Joro sub-county after it proceeded with the construction of the county aggregated and industrial park. The court had in its orders dated January 11th restrained the Egerton University and the Nakuru County government from proceeding with the construction of the facilities pending hearing and determination of a case that was filed by a resident, Ezekiel Kesendani. An anti-graft lobby group identified as National Alliance Against Corruption has come out to condemn what they claim to be impunity by the county government for refusing to obey the rule of law. The Society Secretary, Richard Mosetti, expressed shock after learning that the county government had proceeded with the construction despite knowledge of a valid court order.
Tuko na kesi kama 5 kotini kuhusiana na hii shamba. Na tulisituka wa Friday or Saturday evening wakati tulipigiwa simu kwamba governor wa Nakuru Susan Kika Kimani ameleta matinga kwa shamba na anaanza kuchimba shamba yetu RL 528 without our authority. Tulikuwa kotini na ikakuwa ruled temporal injunction kwamba shamba namba RL 528 and RL 527 should not be tampered with until the case has been heard in court. That means it should have a temporal, it should have the status quo remain as it is.
Communities in 6 counties affected by insecurity came together in Marigat, Baringo County, not for a battle, but for a celebration of culture and collective fight against climate change. The event, spearheaded by the North Rangelands Trust, NRT, the Baringo County government, the European Union, the USAID, aim to showcase the rich cultural tapestry of the region while promoting environmental awareness. Years of environmental degradation, it was noted, exacerbated resource scarcity, leading to competition and fueling conflict. North Rangelands Trust Peace Manager Wario Galma and Baringo Deputy Governor of Baringo Felix Mayo underlined the crucial link between the environmental conservation and lasting peace. Kajiado County Survey Department is on the spot for allegedly generating 2 different land mutations that have led to a conflict between locals and a private developer over access to a public road. One of the mutations involves a 60-meter wide road neighboring Masai Technical Institute with one Andrew Ole Nangurai, a private developer, indicated as among the owners. Nangurai, however, claims he owns a 9-acre piece of land with a title deed bordering the Masai Technical Training Institute. He is now faulting the Kajiado County surveyors for misguiding the members of the public.
Shamba langu hakuna njia na nilipewa title na nikapewa mutation. Kwa hivyo ofisi hiyo tu ndugu yangu anasema ya kwamba ndio imewaruhusu waje watoe barabara kwa shamba langu, ndio ofisi hiyo pekee ndio ilionipatia pia mimi title utoke, manake mimi siwezi jua ukweli. Finally itatoka na serikali.
Tumekuwa tukiishi hapa na tumekuwa tukipita hii barabara miaka yote. Na sasa tulienda tukaomba usaidizi kwa county baada ya huyu mzee kudispute. Tukaomba usaidizi wa kuja kuonyesha barabara yetu na kuja kugradiwa.
Let's turn to security concerns. Police in Migori have arrested 3 people, confiscated 2 motorcycles and launched a manhunt for a 4th suspect found in possession of bang. 2 suspects transporting the contraband on a motorbike were intercepted but managed to escape before one of the suspects was arrested while hiding in a house. Police Commander Francis Ngule, confirming the arrest, said the duo were in the company of 2 women who had hidden and concealed the drugs in the house. However, one of the suspects managed to escape and is still at large. The bang in their possession was estimated at 5.2 million shillings.
Our officers laid an ambush and we were able to get hold of 3 suspects who are waiting to be arraigned in court for the offense of transporting and dealing with the narcotic drugs. Whoever will be found colluding with this criminal, he or she will not be spared.
800 families affected by floods in Elwak, Mandera County have benefited from food and non-food items from a non-governmental organization. The families who lost their property owing to floods thanked the well-wishers, calling for more support to help them rebuild their lives.
Alhamdulillah, tunashukuru Mungu na wale wasaidizi wale mtusaidia wale tambuni. Tumeomba Mungu kutoka mpaka mwisho. Alhamdulillah, tunashukuru Mungu. Leo tumeshiba, tumepata chakula kutosha.
Baada ya Mwenyezi Mungu, haidi naleta chakula. Nasaidia ile mara mingi sana. Baada ya shule madarasa, nasaidia watu ile sana. Arusha shukrani. Alhamdulillah.
Baada ya hii na shukuru Direct Aid. Hii NGO yetu wametuletea chakula 400 household leo.
4,000 farmers living near the salt belt in Magarini constituency, Kilifi County, are opposing what they have termed a planned takeover of their land. The irate locals staged a demo after surveyors that were supposed to attend a meeting with the locals and local administration were a no-show, citing a court matter. They have vowed not to move out of their land.
The residents and farmers drawn from Kanagoni, Gariti and Bundesaga protested after a meeting that was supposed to have surveyors from the national government come and explain the survey process failed to show up. They say they want all survey work stopped immediately, saying there is a plan to take over their land.
Basi eneo hili ambalo tunaishi na tumeliendeleza kiukulima hatutatoka.
Wametutesa, wameangusha mali zetu. Hata sasa kufundisha watoto ni vigumu.
Walikuwa wanajua leo ni tarehe ya kwenda kwenye koti. Kwa nini wasitangaze tangu juzi?
They are further pointing a finger at retired chiefs, accusing them of colluding with the tycoons to evict them from their homes. More than 4,000 farmers are at risk of losing their land.
Leo hii mwananchi saa hii anasumbuana ama anasumbuliwa kwa sababu ya watu fulani ambao wana benefit hapo ndani.
Kemusol says the land in question belongs to them, while residents claim records show the land is their property. Yusufar reporting for Lunchtime News.
Herders in Rumuruti, Laikipia County, of a herder who was allegedly shot dead during a confrontation with National Police Reserve. The killing sparked angry protests from the herders who stormed the Rumuruti police station to demand answers. The residents, most of them from the pastoral communities, claimed that the herder was shot by police reservists who had impounded a herd of cattle they claimed were grazing illegally at the private farm.
Nilisikia risasi ikiwa inalia. Na nikachukua hatua mara moja, nikakimbia mpaka pale. Nikakuta ule marehemu akiwa ameuawa tukiwa na mzee mmoja anaitwa Letambul. Kuangalia nikafikiri pengine hii jamaa alikuwa mwizi. Lakini nikiangalia mbele nikaona mbuzi mingi zawa zinasukumwa. Lakini nikashangaa sana. Nikarudi tena mpaka hapo. Wakati niliporudi ile maaskari ile watu waliwa mtu alikuwa tupe nafasi kabisa tukaribia ile marehemu. Kama wanasema ni shamba ya jiji imefensiwa na mali mtu aliwawa ni ndani ya barabara.
Ndio nimefika hivi. Tafili nikakuta maneno si mzuri. Nikimwambia huyo manager wa hiyo shamba acha basi tuongee tu ndio turekebishe maneno kisanga kingine isitoke. Hapo amenisikia akaenda tu. Sasa kuanzia hapo ndio maneno ikaanza. Mtu wao kijana wetu mmoja ambaye ni jirani yangu na walileta mali hadi hapa police station.
Kenya has called for a renewed social contract to promote decent work and social justice to ensure the rights of workers in and out of the country are protected. Speaking during a plenary session of the International Labour Conference in Geneva, Switzerland, Labour and Social Protection Cabinet Secretary Florence Bore challenged governments to commit to strengthening laws that will advance equal opportunities for sustainable development. The CS also had bilateral talks with several countries, including China, India, Kazakhstan, Philippines, Kuwait, to further talks on labour migration to create job opportunities for the Kenyan unemployed youth.
And other countries. So we are here just to ensure that we know what Kenyan workers should be able to have and what are we going to engage in going forward. Ours as a ministry is to ensure that we get solutions. We have problems that we have had, especially during the floods, where Kenyans have lost lives, Kenyans have lost property, Kenyans have lost shelter, and we want to look for ways on how to engage them and ensure that they get social justice.
All work and no play makes Jack a dull boy. Conveners of the International Day of Play, a first in the country, want parents to make play an integral part of their children's development. Here now is Ivan Kaunda with the details.
It is Tuesday afternoon at the heart of one of Africa's largest informal settlements, and a new event is taking root. In this part of the world, it's almost all work with no play, especially on a weekday. But it doesn't have to always be this way.
Not very encouraging insofar as play is concerned. There is slightly over 78% of children around the world do not get to experience the opportunity to play. For many reasons, there are no safe play spaces. The kind of development that we're seeing happening in our cities, in our countries, do not take into consideration play.
For children in particular, play helps build relationships and improve control, overcome trauma and problem solving.
Our message to the government and policymakers is we begin to design our cities, our development frameworks in a manner that has a child in mind. Where can they play? How can they experience nature? Can they have opportunities to play with water, with sun?
Unajua, token mita yako inahitaji system update. Ni rahisi na ni free. Ukipata ujumbe kutoka Kenya Power, yani SMS, weka kodi ya kwanza kureset, alafu weke kodi ya pili kuupdate. Update token mita yako. Ujumbe huu umeletwa kwako na Kenya Power and Lighting Company.
Kikohozi cha muda wowote, kutokwa na jasho kwa wingi usiku, uchungu kwenye kifua, afya kudhoofika, tafuta matibabu. Labda ni TB ni ugonjwa wa kweli. Ukipimwa matibabu yapo utapona. Daktari kushauri tumia dawa kwa nidhamu. Elimu tupashane tupige vita TB. Pimwa TB, tibiwa ishi poa.
I can't believe the season's nearly over.
It sucks. I mean, I have no idea what I'm going to do with all this time on my hands.
Watch the Mozartbet Cup as teams from both the top tier and low tier battle for the ultimate prize of representing the country in Africa's CAF Confederations Cup. Catch all the action live and exclusive on KBC Channel 1, beginning with a round of 16 matches, the quarter-final, semi-final and the final. Mozartbet Cup, live and exclusive on KBC Channel 1, your true sports partner.
Tukivipata tu hivi vifaa vya uongozi, tumefaulu.
Jasiri ana nini?
Unisikia vizuri. Mwambie Jasiri akae mbali na Nuru. Kwani hasa yajionaje sana
Jambo lililotuleta hapa si jambo dogo. Ni sharti uwe na utulivu na ushirikiano. Kelele ni sani.
Leo ni kwa nini kumchagua kiongozi mpya kunaleta utata namna hii?
Ushimejaa kwenye siri. Amekuwa akinifukuzia kwa muda mrefu. Inapandepo yanichanganya.
Kama baba alinipendekeza mimi nitakuwa mrithi wake, basi tabaki kuwa hivyo tu.
Tabaki kuwa vipi?
Thank you for keeping it KBC Channel 1. We have to pay bills and we had to go on a commercial break. However, we are getting back to the story of Alvin Kauna, and all work, no play makes Jack a dull boy. Convenance of the International Day of Play, a first in the country, wants parents to make play an integral part of their children's development. Here now is Alvin Kaunda with the details.
It is Tuesday afternoon at the heart of one of Africa's largest informal settlements, and a new event is taking root. In this part of the world, it's almost all work with no play, especially on a weekday. But it doesn't have to always be this way.
Not very encouraging insofar as play is concerned. There is slightly over 78% of children around the world do not get to experience the opportunity to play. For many reasons, there are no safe play spaces. The kind of development that we're seeing happening in our cities, in our countries, do not take into consideration play.
For children in particular, play helps build relationships and improve control, overcome trauma and problem solving.
Our message to the government and policymakers is we begin to design our cities, our development frameworks in a manner that has a child in mind. Where can they play? How can they experience nature? Can they have opportunities to play with water, with sand, climb up and down trees?
There are some parents who usually don't allow their children to play, in that when after school they take their children home, they make them to be inside.
In our school we have special needs children, and we play with them in different games, like we help them in playing ball. Like we give them the ball, they just kick it, although they don't kick it high, they don't have the skills, but we just share with them.
The primary purpose of the International Day of Play celebration is to raise awareness about the vital role of play in health development and to encourage communities to prioritize play in daily life.
Thank you, Alvin. This is also a day that the world is marking against child labor. Now we cross over to the county of Mombasa. Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua is addressing practitioners in the sector of pharmaceutical. Let's cross over and listen in.
How expeditious is the billing system? Without a strong support of a working pharmacy, you don't have a hospital. And all treatments, the diagnosis, the theater, whatever it is, and it after admission, the final stop before you go home is the pharmacy. That tells you the importance of your profession. You are really the backbone of our health sector. And therefore, it is critical that you must be very professional. You must be very professional. Because if you dispense the wrong drug, the whole value chain from a consultation through diagnosis and tests and all that, if you dispense the wrong drug, all that effort is in vain. We therefore call for a very professional and robust body that you are members to support our health system. I want to say that I'm leading the fight against drugs and substance abuse. And one of our weak points are pharmacists and chemists. Some properly licensed and run by professionals. Yet, they dispense drugs that are supposed to be dispensed against prescription over the counter. We have a lot of young people, even in this town of Mombasa, getting a lot of syrups and mixing them with other things to get a very dangerous combination that is harmful to our children. I want to call upon all those professionals who run pharmacies and chemists to live up to your oath and just do the right thing. Please don't dispense drugs over the counter that are supposed to be dispensed upon a prescription. Again, let us put a good record of all drugs that we dispense. That is for licensed establishments. Again, there are many, many other quacks who have opened pharmacies and chemists that are not licensed and that are not run by people who are professional. I want to request that you as society works with us, and we are willing to pair you up with our county security and intelligence teams to crack down on unlicensed pharmacies and chemists, shut them down, destroy the drugs, and take the people who are running them to jail where they belong. And let's start with here in Mombasa. We have a very good county team here led by the county commissioner who are very active. And County Commissioner, I really want to thank you and your team for what you have done to run the drug barons here in Mombasa out of town. Lakini bado fija hawa. Sikubeni hiyo watu kabisa wapotee. Those are very bad people. Please sit down. Those people who sell drugs to our children, those are very bad criminals. And they have no place here on earth. And I'm sure they have also no place in heaven. You must run those people to the sea. That's where they belong. And that is happening here in Mombasa. And we are crying. Badu. So please, I want to request this society. Talk to us. We are ready to give you law enforcement officers across our 47 counties to help you shut down all unlicensed facilities across the country. Again, those professionals who lease out their licenses, hata nyinyi ni watu baya sana. Hiyo license umepewa ni yako utumie. Sasa license yako unapatia mtu mwingine ambaye hajahitimu how? How do you give a fellow just there to use your license? Kama alitaka kuwa na chemist yangeenda university asome. Aumie huko na mambo ya kati na nini na ile mambo iko huko. Sasa wewe umesoma na hiyo masomo vile iko ngumu. Mtu tu atoka hivi kwa sababu hapo na pesa na mpatia license yako. It's very unfair to yourself. How do you allow a character who has not been to school to use your license and claim to be a pharmacist? And this is a difficult course at the university. I used to see fellows who are doing pharmacy crying there in Choromo and Kenyatta. Wakisikia mtihani na karibu wanaharibika kichwa. Sisi watu na literature na nini, unajua sisi watu wa juu chini. Unangangana tu na kizungu unapita. Lakini unajua hii maneno ya medicine and pharmacy, you know there is no guesswork. You must get it right because you are dealing with human lives. How do you, after spending those years, all the way from primary to high school to university, and getting a license to practice, and you give it to another character for some little money? I think it's very insulting to yourself. And that is how we have ruined our people. Because those are merchants. They don't care. They have no professional ethics. They will sell anything to anybody as long as they make money. Please, I want to beg you with tremendous respect as your leader, please let's be professional and let us also respect our profession. Tujivunie our profession. Don't allow merchants and thugs to get into such a noble profession. It's very unfair to your profession. Mujivunie. Muko tu watu 5,000. Why do you want to bring other characters kwa hiyo club ya watu 5,000 in Kenya out of 50 million? It's a club for preserved people ambaye iko na akili. So finally, I want to say that the President, you have said a few things. One is that you want to be involved in legislation. I'm surprised that you are not, because our constitution is very clear that public participation is compulsory in any legislative proposal. And before it is debated and passed into a bill in the National Assembly, or in the Senate for that matter, there is public participation. And this society, in bills that are related to a profession, must be accorded an opportunity to have an input. So we'll find out with the minister here what could be the problem, because that I'm a little bit shocked, because it's a constitutional requirement. And in fact, you have seen many bills that went through Parliament without public participation have been thrown out by the High Court. So we'll find out and we'll make sure that in any bill before our two houses of Parliament that needs to be discussed, that have something to do with your profession, as a professional body, you are given an opportunity to have a serious input on that bill. That one we shall do, and we'll find out what is about. Mambo ya the National Pharmaceutical Policy, waziri yako hapa. But anyway, aleta kwa cabinet, tunyoroshe. Yeah. And our CS here is a very active CS. He's a very active guy. You know, very. I sit with these people, I chair the cabinet committee. I know. Hata kama siongei, ninapima, ninaona mtu ambaye iko sawa. Now, Susan, I'm not saying because she's here. She is very committed to her job, and she's very passionate. So I don't find you having any problem engaging her for the National Pharmaceutical Policy. Give the input and everything. She'll work on it. She'll bring it to the committee of cabinet that I chair on behalf of the president. Then we'll take it to the main cabinet and we'll adopt the policy so that we work within a certain framework.
Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua attending the pharmaceutical conference in the county of Mombasa. This as the practitioners are marking the 60th International Scientific Conference. We have able team on the ground. They'll be bringing us comprehensive details in the day. But for now, time for business. Kenya Power is calling for the lifting of the moratorium on onboarding new power purchasing agreements. Speaking at the launch of the update Token Yako meter campaign that will see 7.4 million prepaid customers update their token gadgets, Kenya Power Managing Director Joseph Siror says more independent power producers are needed to boost electricity generation. Siror says Kenya Power customers using prepaid meters have until August this year to update their meters as part of an ongoing global exercise targeting all prepaid meters.
I think it is time we start saying we need more of IPPs. Because when we look at this, the difference between our total generation, or rather our available generation, vis-a-vis our peak power, which stands at 2177. And I think I've been monitoring the peak, and there are instances where it even goes to over 2200. But for us to recognize a peak, it needs to be sustained for 30 minutes.
It will not be possible to use tokens that were generated previously. So at the point before you update your meter, ensure all previously purchased tokens have been put into the meter so that they will be usable. If your meter still has some tokens, will those tokens be lost? No. Those tokens will be recognized upon update.
Prepaid meters. We know our customers call it what? Token meter.
Government will spend 42 billion shillings to connect 566,000 homes to the electricity grid across the country. Energy Principal Secretary Alex Wachira, who was speaking during the commissioning of 4 new electrification projects in Barrie North, says the connections are the beginning of an ambitious plan that will see the governments allocate money every year to have 90 to 95% of all homes connected to power by 2030.
Data from Kenya Power indicated that 9.6 million Kenyan households are connected to electric power. The government plans to connect 95% of homes by 2030 under the Last Mile Connectivity Program. Energy Principal Secretary Alex Wachira says 42 billion shillings will be spent to connect homes every year to achieve the 2030 vision.
Mwaka huu peke yake tunatazamia connect 566,000 households in the Republic of Kenya with a collective budget about 42 billion Kenya shillings. Hiyo ni kumaanisha kwamba we are on course in ensuring that we achieve our 2030 target of ensuring that at least we have 100% of Kenyans who have access to electricity.
He was speaking in Mbeere North when he commissioned 4 new electrification projects that will see 600 households and institutions connected to the national grid.
Miza watu wote wa Mbeere North, hii project inaletwa ili tufaidi sisi na mambo mazi yetu. Tafadhali tuchunge hii project, tuhakikishe kwamba hakuna kukata mawaya ya stima, hakuna kuharibu transformers, hakuna kuharibu fikingi ambazo zinawekwa katika vijiji yetu.
Frederick Muki for Lunchtime News.
Thank you for keeping it KBC Channel 1 in sports. Top 6 Jairus Kipkosgei and Elfas Makuto of Prisons Kenya will lead Kenyan charges in the upcoming 2024 Paris Olympics Africa Beach Volleyball qualifiers slated from 18th to the 23rd of June in Morocco. The talented duo were named by the Kenya Volleyball Federation in a 4-man squad that also boasts of Brian Meli of GSU and Edward Kibet. The women's squad has regulars Gaudensia Makoha and Naomi To, Yvonne Wavinya, and debutants Shalene Shambel. The men's team will be under the tutelage of former Kenya men's volleyball team captain Ibrahim Odur, while Sally Wanjala will coach the women's team. Kenya Forest Service men's volleyball team tactician Wachira Gatwiria was named the team manager. The team is currently camping in Mombasa and is expected to leave the country this weekend for the continental assignment. Kenya under-18 men's basketball team hopes of registering stellar performance suffered a hit after a 78-49 loss to host Uganda in the third match of the men FIBA under-18 Championship 2024 Zone 5 qualifiers held in Kampala, Uganda. Meanwhile, national under-18 women team also suffered the same setback after a 56-47 loss to Rwanda.
The Kenya under-18 men's basketball team started on a high, bagging the first quarter 16-14 before making some mistakes in the second quarter to go down 22-34. The Kenyan team could not pull a comeback in the third quarter, which ended 57-31 in favor of the hosts, who went on to win the fourth set to register 78-49 full-time score.
They're down by 3 points. Very good ball movement. Oh, to the basket, block shot. Oh my goodness.
Kenya had lost 52-81 to Rwanda in the first game before securing a 95-81 win over Tanzania.
Oh, very good rebound. Offensive rebound. Next time she does that, it's going to be a technical foul.
The national under-18 women team, on the other hand, suffered their second defeat when Rwanda beat them 56-47. The Kenyan team beat Tanzania 57-47 in their first game before losing 45-97 to host Uganda in the second game. The 6-day championship comes to an end on Friday in Kampala, Uganda, with the best men and women teams securing a slot in the 2024 FIBA Under-18 African Championships scheduled in South Africa in August.
The World Motorsport Council have confirmed the dates for the 2024 Equator African Rally Championship, dates which will be held from the 29th of November to 1st December this year. The Equator ARC, which was earlier scheduled to run between 29th to 30th June in Naivasha, was postponed following a report from Kenya Motorsports Federation and Africa Rally Championship, where they were guided by a review of the erratic weather conditions in the country, which impacted the postponement of the rally. The World Motorsport Council approved the dates, which have been rescheduled to November when they convene at Samarkand yesterday. Kenyan Karan Patel and his partner Tausif Khan are the reigning Africa Rally champions after winning the series last year in a Ford Fiesta Rally 2-car. They were off to a good start this season when they won the Pearl of Africa Rally in Uganda, with the next Africa Rally Championship scheduled in Zambia from 26th to 28th of July next month. Cristiano Ronaldo scored a brace as Portugal beat Republican Ireland 3-0 in their last international friendly match at Estadio Municipal de Aveiro ahead of the European Championship, which kicks off this Friday in Germany. Before Zolis doubled the score for the visitors 8 minutes later. Liverpool's youngster Conor Bradley scored a double as Northern Ireland defeated Andorra 2-0, while Ukraine thrashed Moldova 4-0 in another friendly match at the Stadion Zibur before the Euro 2024 opening match against Romania on Monday in Group E. Right, we have come to the end of Channel 1 Lunchtime News, a couple of hours to the budget reading Thursday. We have your views. We'll be able to sample them in our subsequent bulletins. For now, thank you for your time. Thank you for your feedback on our social media platforms. For more details on ad items and many more, do log on to www.kbc.co.ke. My name is Irene Muchuma on Sign Language Interpretation. This afternoon, we have Lucy Mwaura on behalf of the entire team behind this bulletin. Good afternoon and God bless you.